Welcome to CATEX TV. This is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, March 22nd, 2012. While bowing to the inevitable, Lloyd's of London today announced that they have delayed the submission of their internal model for Solvency II compliance to the Financial Services Authority until July. They were due to submit it on April 1st. They pushed it back several months. The delay is perhaps the first sign that the historic market is struggling to meet the ambitious schedule of implementation. It's going to allow managing agents and the corporation more time to prepare their submissions. In a letter to the market, Luke Savage, the finance director, said the additional 3 months will give both managing agents and the corporation time to complete any outstanding work in accordance with the original timetable. Lloyd's is still expected to implement their framework at the start of 2013, 1 full year ahead of the regulation's formal implementation. In France, overnight, the gunman who had been responsible for killing 7 people ended up committing suicide, jumping off a balcony just outside of the city of Toulouse. And also in Francophone West Africa, in Mali, a country that has not seen a coup since 1991, a group of junior military officers took control of the country. They've dissolved the financial institutions. The country has been governed by President Amadou Touré, who announced he will not be seeking re-election. CNA Financial in Chicago is coming back to Lloyd's. They've announced that they're buying Hardy Underwriting Bermuda for $227 million in cash. The proposed transaction has been approved by the boards of both companies. Hardy's in 2011 saw heavy catastrophe losses, which pushed the firm into a loss of about £41 million before tax. According to CNA Chief Executive Thomas Motamed, Hardy is a specialist insurer and reinsurer with a respected brand and a long and distinguished history of disciplined underwriting in the Lloyd's market. Fellow Lloyd's insurer Beazley, which had been in discussions to buy Hardy, issued a statement saying it no longer is in talks and no longer has an interest in buying the company. Weekly American jobless claims fell 5,000 down to 348,000. This is the lowest level since February of 2008. And Brazil, which recently has announced several multi-billion barrel oil discoveries off its coast, federal prosecutors have now filed criminal charges against 17 Chevron and Transocean company executives over that leak in the Atlantic Ocean in November of last year. Prosecutors yesterday accused the executives of environmental crimes, of misleading Brazil's oil regulator, and not providing accurate information in the wake of the spill. Chevron will vigorously defend the company and its employees. The men had originally been fined and now are subject to criminal prosecution, which, if convicted, in fact, could result in 31 years in jail. Ford Motor Company laid the cornerstone yesterday for a new $1 billion factory in India, pressing ahead with expansion plans despite an uncertain outlook for Asia's number 3 economy, where growth in car sales has recently dropped. Ford's plant will have the capacity to manufacture 240,000 cars and 270,000 engines a year when it's completed in 2014. That's a pretty fast time schedule. And in Australia, the most wanted man in the continent has been arrested. A murder suspect, who has been dubbed Australia's most wanted man, eluded officials for 7 years by hiding out in dense forests. Malcolm Naden, a 38-year-old former slaughterhouse worker, was charged today with the 2005 strangling deaths of 1 person and other violent crimes. Mr. Naden was heavily bearded, barefooted, wearing muddy clothes in New South Wales when he was found by the police. According to the Commissioner of Police for New South Wales, he has been in this area for a number of years. He knows it better than the back of his hand. Mr. Naden became a suspect in the killing, and officials began their pursuit, aware of his sharp survival skills. He had been hiding out for 7 years in a vast stretch of unforgiving and heavily forested terrain. No longer he's in a warm cell with a cot, and most likely will be there for the rest of his life. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.